Hello, my name's Christian Foyle and I'm the director of Foyle Legal. Foyle Legal is a Perth law firm that specialises in the area of personal injury, and today I'd like to talk to you about workers' compensation claims in Western Australia. The purpose of workers' compensation is fairly simple. The point is to compensate workers who are injured in the course of their work. But unfortunately, there's a large amount to know about workers' compensation. I'd like to help you a bit with that today. The first thing I'd like to talk to you about is that in Western Australia, workers' compensation is a no-fault system. And what that means is you don't have to prove that anyone was to blame for your injury. All you have to prove is that it happened in the course of your work. If it happened in the course of your work, then the chances are that you're entitled to compensation. Now, even if your claim is rejected by your employer's insurer, there's a free process to review the decision, and Foyle Legal can help you with that if you need help going forward. As to how to make a workers' compensation claim, all you have to do is to complete a workers' compensation claim form. Now, I've put a link for that down the bottom of this page, and you can follow that to the workover website. You have to complete a first medical certificate. The easiest way to do that is to go to your general practitioner who can complete one for you and give it to you. And then you have to take those forms, that's the workers' compensation claim form and the first medical certificate, and give them to your employer or post them by registered post to their place of business. Where the employer is insured, the employer should hand the forms to their insurer within 5 days, and then the insurer must make a liability decision within 14 days. Now, the decision they make could be to accept your claim, reject your claim, or that they need more time in which to make a decision. In workers' compensation claims, time is a very important factor. If a worker has suffered a work injury, a claim should be made as soon as possible. And if a worker doesn't file a claim as soon as possible, then the employer's insurer may state that they are prejudiced, leading to complications. It can take more time for your claim to be accepted, or you might have to go through the workover process. Now, workover's the Workers' Compensation Court in Western Australia. The best time to settle your claim is when your medical condition has stabilised, and I've made another video about what stabilisation means. You should be aware of the 12-month common law action limitation. What that limitation is a limitation on your right to bring a common law negligence action against your employer, which can be far more lucrative than just the benefits that you receive from workers' compensation. If you're not reviewed by an approved medical specialist within a 12-month period, then you may lose your right to commence an action against your employer. Right, now onto what you can claim in your workers' compensation claim. The first and most obvious thing is loss of wages. You're entitled to loss of wages, and the amount that you can get in total is just under $200,000. You're entitled to have your medical and treatment expenses covered. Those include things like hospital expenses, seeing your GP, and medication costs. Once you reach a stage where your treating medical practitioners are saying that you can return to work, you're entitled to rehabilitation assistance. In the course of your workers' compensation claim, you'll incur travel expenses because you need to go and see your GP, you need to go and get physiotherapy, and you may need to go and see doctors that the insurer is requiring you to see. You can claim those medical expenses as part of your claim. And finally, in most cases, compensation for permanent impairment may be given at the settlement of your claim. When most workers come to Foyle Legal, the main question that they want to ask is what is their claim worth? Individual compensation varies as to the amount that you'll get for a settlement. The nature of the injury and your capacity to return to work are the main factors. Many workers are unable to return to their pre-accident employment and find it difficult to rehabilitate into a different kind of role. Those are the main sort of things that will be taken into consideration when you settle your case. Workover WA sets out an upper limit of compensation, and I've put a link below that you can have a look at to see what the limits are for your injury. Now on to what we can do to help you. Foyle Legal has a wealth of experience in helping workers to claim the compensation they deserve. I personally have experience acting as both a claimant lawyer and a lawyer for the insurance companies. So when you come to Foyle Legal, I bring perspectives from both sides of the litigation divide to enable you to get the most out of your case. If you have made a claim and have a question about your case, give us a call. Foyle Legal sees workers on a no-win, no-fee basis, and your consultation is obligation-free. Foyle Legal is committed to make the claim process as smooth as possible and to maximise your workers' compensation settlement. Finally, how can you contact Foyle Legal? You can visit our website, that's www.foylelegal.com. You can call Foyle Legal on 0408 727 343, or you can try our newest invention, which is scanning a QR code, which you can see below. I look forward to hearing from you, and I wish you the best of luck with your workers' compensation case.